Week one of college football is in the books. Here are my takeaways for week one. Clemson, their program is now redefined. They are not in a class of the elites. They are in a class below. I think that loss was a program redefining loss. I think it's been trending that way for a few years now, but I think this is officially the nail in the coffin of how we should be defining Clemson and where they sit in terms of the classes of college football. I think that loss really knocked them down a peg. On the flip side, Miami, they could win the ACC. They had an outstanding, stellar performance versus Florida on the road. Cam Ward looked unreal. So they're going to be serious contenders in the ACC. Penn State, they're going to be serious contenders in the Big Ten. They went into Morgantown, West Virginia, and just handled business. So they look great. Drew Aller looked like he was had a really good day. He was throwing the ball downfield, which was new to him. Nick Singleton looks like he broke up some big runs. So their offense looks to be clicking a little bit under Kotelnicki. So it's interesting to see how Penn State will be for the rest of the year. A&M, I do this every year. I fall into the same goddamn trap. I buy into A&M. It's like their roster's solid. They have an easy schedule this year. Mike Elko will come in and what'd they do? I mean, credit to Notre Dame. Notre Dame played a great game, and their defense is elite and will be probably top 5, top 10. But A&M, every year, buy into them, and every year I fall flat on my face. So it happened again this year. It'll probably happen again next year. Florida. How are they going to respond to this huge loss that they just had to Miami? They obviously know their schedule ahead of them. They know that their coach is on the hot seat. How are they going to respond? Are they going to say, hey, let's move on and we'll compete and give it our all for the rest of this? Or are they going to lay down and die and let Billy Napier really fall on the sword here? So I'm very curious to how Florida is going to respond to this loss to their in-state rival and just getting blown out at home. So we'll keep an eye on that. Virginia Tech, just balls. Everyone was saying Virginia Tech is a dark horse to win the ACC because of their schedule and their returning production in Kyron Drones. But man, that has been deflated week one. So Virginia Tech no longer an ACC contender in my book. Just talked a bit about this on the flip side, but impressive road win for the Irish. They came into Kyle Field, opening up the season, really tough environment, and they took care of business. Even with their line not fully healthy, they came to play, and their defense was really impressive. And I think they got some receivers now that they could really rely on. So it'll be interesting how they fare for the rest of the season. Michigan may have some real problems on the offensive line. And obviously everyone expected some regression because of how many people they had sent to the draft. But I was also on the mindset of that their offensive line would be pretty fine. Like, obviously they lost some really key guys, but I thought they would be able to just reload a little bit. And it seems that they struggled a little bit against Fresno State, and that game was a little closer than people may have liked and that Michigan may have liked. So we'll see how their line holds up against Texas this week. And LSU's secondary, same problems they've had under Brian Kelly. Their offense looked great. Garrett Nussmeier, he's the truth. Kyron Lacey had a really good game. They're just going to be held back by their defense. Their secondary did not get the job done. I think they did an actually fairly decent job of stopping the run. That was my other big concern is the defensive line for LSU. That was a problem that they didn't address in the transfer portal. But they looked actually pretty decent. So we'll see how they end up there. But their secondary, still a lot of holes there. There's a long season, but there was a lot of hype going into LSU that I just wasn't really buying. And it looks like that's how it's playing out. Follow Big Body Ball CFB on all socials.